welcome everybody to the That Kind of Nerd podcast, a weekly podcast where we break down what's going on in the nerd world and the nerd culture. If you're a new listener, we highly encourage you to go check out our website, thatkindofnerd.com. I am your host, CJ Mell, and I am joined, of course, by Josh Burns and Brian Thornton. And for the record today, Brian is drinking out of his beautiful Spider-Man mug.
It is beautiful, isn't it?
It makes me happy.
I know, right?
Now, the question really is, what is it filled with?
Oh, that is for me to know and everybody else to figure out.
Okay, so it is the end of January, beginning of February, and it is about time that we start right away again with Brian's monthly list of movies that are coming out in the month of February.
Woo!
So let's jump right into this. Now, this isn't, of course, the total list of every movie that's coming out, but these are the ones that are worth your attention and maybe a few that are being dragged to against your will. So, Brian, why don't you start us off?
Okay, we're going to start the month off right and have something that Josh is going to love to talk about. It comes out February 5th, and it's Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
So dumb.
This is based off of I don't know if it's best-selling. I have no idea. It is based off of a novel of the same name, which is adapted of the Jane Austen novel, which takes Pride and Prejudice.
It was
throws zombies in it.
Written by the man who did Abraham Lincoln Vampire Slayer.
See, now
Yes,
I can
it
get
was.
behind Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, but I can't get behind zombies.
I don't know. It looks entertaining. I'm excited for it. It's got Matt Smith and Lena Headey in it. Matt Smith, as we all know, is Josh's favorite doctor. And Lena Headey is the whore of Game of Thrones.
You have to be a little more specific. Game of Thrones is full of whores.
No, I do not. She is the whore.
Game of Thrones is very hoary. It's very just fits over. It's brimming with the whores of Babylon.
Listen, I get that, but everything could have been avoided if it weren't for her initial whoring.
Shame.
Exactly.
Shame.
So February 5th, Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I will be at the theater, but Josh will not. Speaking of things I will not be seeing at the theater, Valentine's Day is around the corner, so you got some romantic comedies, and I feel like I should mention this for about 2 seconds. The new Nicholas Sparks movie is coming out. Speaking of Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter, it stars Benjamin Walker, who played Abraham Lincoln in Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter. It's called The Choice.
All right. There's only one movie coming out on February 5th that anybody should be talking about.
Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. I agree.
And it's neither of those two. It is Hail Caesar.
See, this is the fun part because Brian's going to sit here and go, ooh. You're going to sit here and go, ooh, for Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies. Which unfortunately leaves me to say the one that I'm excited for the most on February 5th is Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies.
What? It's all right. Look, the Coen brothers don't make that many movies, and when they do, the movie's phenomenal. Always.
Nah.
Something's wrong with you.
Fargo,
I don't
Lebowski. They got great movies under
Something
there.
is very wrong with you. Oh, brother, where art thou? Hail Caesar is going to be hilarious.
So just to list some of the people that are on this cast, just so you kind of have an idea of what we're talking about George Clooney, right? Josh Brolin, Channing Tatum, Scarlett Johansson, Jonah Hill. Who else is in this thing? Like everybody.
Ray Fiennes.
Ray Fiennes is in it.
I mean,
a bunch of people in it.
There's so much talent in this movie. It's a little undeniable how awesome it's going to be.
With some mediocre directing.
Wow.
I'll just sit by none of my business mug.
It looks interesting. And I'm nice to see. I think it's nice to see kind of fat Jonah Hill again. And it feels like the world is right again. Everything is back to balance.
Wow,
you went there. Let's not talk about that anymore. Moving on. February 12th is a movie that we are all extremely excited for. Just in time for Valentine's Day comes
Zoolander.
Zoolander. We'll get to that in a second, but let's talk about Deadpool real quick. Because I know we spent a lot of time talking about Deadpool over previous episodes. I think it goes without saying we are all extremely excited for this movie. Is there anything you guys want to add, CJ?
Absolutely. So we got an email from our super fan Ellen, which, by the way, we always appreciate. So you can always email us at podcast@thatkindofnerd.com. And Brian, her question was directed to you and also had something very funny at the end of it, so I thought I would share it. She said that she has already purchased her tickets for Deadpool.
Good for you, Ellen.
So she wants to know, is it too soon to tell her about the character? What is it with this comic book, right? How are the comics for this guy? And she kind of wants to know the premise of the guy, because when she went into Spider-Man films, she knew that he gets bitten by a radioactive spider, Uncle Ben dies, and he has a thing for the neighbor. So she wants to know a little bit more about Deadpool going into it. So here are her big questions, and of course you can always elaborate. Is he human? Does he have a girl? And does he have a day job?
Okay.
Let's hit those three main things.
I will hit those three main points, and I will go into more detail because I am writing the article Deadpool 101 for the website for That Kind of Nerd. But I will hit those major 3 points. What was the first point?
Is he human?
He is not human. He is technically a mutant. He has the same healing. He has a different variation of the same healing factor that Wolverine has.
Now,
next question.
Now, hold on. Let me just, for the record, just uncover the nerd on that. Yes, he is a human, but he has mutated. Like Spider-Man is also a human.
I don't understand. No. Spider-Man is not a mutant, though. He is genetically altered. It's completely different. You're born a mutant.
But basically, what she's saying, he's terrestrial. He's not an alien.
He's of Earth.
Gotcha.
But he is a mutant like the X-Men.
Just want to clarify. Does he have a girl?
In this movie, he does. In the comic book, he has many girls. It really depends on how you want to go about it.
And the clever part for the marketing that they've had is they actually released a little picture that made this look like a romantic comedy about love and one man's
love
unwillingness
conquers all
to stop.
Things, including cancer.
Exactly. So he does.
This is not like Sweet November where she just, lets the cancer take her. No, anyway, go ahead.
Anyway, yes, he has a girl in this movie. Does he have a day job?
If by day job you mean like working at a Baskin Robbins, no. He is a mercenary for hire. That's his day job. So probably not. I would say no.
Okay. And then just one of the other parts that she had earlier were, how are the comics for Deadpool?
The comics are great. You have to... It's hit or miss sometimes, depending on what you're reading. I would recommend starting in his early inception in the early 90s, all the way through his first series, is probably some of his best stuff. And the Cable Deadpool series is fantastic as well. So he's got some great stuff out there.
So like we've talked about, this movie is phenomenal. We've talked about it a million times. I won't keep you any longer. We're all going to see it on February 12th, and you should too. As Ellen already said, you can buy your tickets. So thank you, Ellen, for those questions.
I hope I answered those questions sufficiently.
So let's move on to the next movie on February 12th, which I can't wait to skip over.
How to Be Single, starring a bunch of people no one cares about. Moving on.
Why even put it on the list?
I put it on the list because it's another girlfriend drags your nerdy boyfriend too. I mean, that's why it's on the list. I'm sorry.
Rebel Wilson, Alison Brie, Dakota Johnson.
I'm catering.
Did you watch the trailer?
I did. I have no desire to see this movie.
It looks funny.
It looks like I'll watch it on demand when it's a few months old. Like I watched That Awkward Moment recently.
Oh, I'm not going to the theater to see it. I'm just saying it looks funny.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Moving on. Is Zoolander 2, as Josh previously stated. I am actually really excited for this movie, the sequel to the 2001 comedy Zoolander.
God, don't say that out loud again. That makes me feel way too old to hear Zoolander was 2001.
Zoolander was in 2001. And we get to see Zoolander hurled back into the world of espionage again. So I'm extremely excited. I think I enjoy Ben Stiller when he's doing his kind of stupid comedy. What about you guys? What do you guys think?
I'm actually pretty stoked that most of the people that were in the original film are coming back. My fear with this is Anchorman. What happened with Anchorman was we waited way too long for a sequel, and then the sequel we got was a pile of crap. So I'm a little worried about it. I'm very hopeful that it'll be good. It's one of the movies I'm coming in with some, optimism. But if I'm let down, I won't be surprised. I'll just be disappointed.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably a good assumption. Josh, you have any desire to see Zoolander 2?
No. I mean, I saw the first one. It took me like 3 or 4 times watching it until I found it funny, and I think it's hilarious. But this is going to crash and burn.
especially coming out the same day as Deadpool. I don't
That's
know
the
how
other
well
part
this is
too,
gonna
man.
do.
That's a rough thing to go up against.
They should have done it like the week after, probably,
Huh.
because it's probably gonna get crushed at the box office. So moving on, there's nothing the week after. There's nothing until February 26th when we've got 3 pretty solid movies in my opinion. Well, I mean, I don't know. This one depends on how you look at it. Gods of Egypt,
No, this is not a solid movie.
starring
No.
This is someone bought a CGI company. It was like, we should make a movie where we use this company we just bought. Who should we get? We should get Gerard Butler and Jamie Lannister, because I know right now none of them are doing
you
anything.
can't pronounce his real name.
I
Go ahead.
can't. I won't even try. Looks
Like
like
Nicolaj Coster-Waldau.
no. That looks like
I don't know.
nickeled Coca-Cola roller coaster. I can't. No, this doesn't look like anything.
It looks like Clash of the Titans in Egypt.
There's this scene in the trailer where after Jamie Lannister says something really, quote unquote badass, he like sprouts these metal wings, flies into the air, and they show this aerial shot of the city, and they go silent. And then he swoops down, and it's just something going up in the air and coming down. And I always look at my wife every time. He goes, "Was that supposed to impress me? Because something flying isn't impressive. I can look up in the
I've
air and
seen
see a
Star
plane.
Wars.
I'm not impressed anymore. This
Wow.
movie's terrible. I can't wait for this
All
to
the
burn.
wonder just immediately left your eyes
No,
in that
it's just-
statement.
It's
It's one
awful.
of those things. Like I can't believe that a studio head somewhere like this script comes across their desk and they go, "Yeah, it seems like a good idea. It seems like a moneymaker."
Yeah.
How are we still making these movies? How is that? Like, how is this even a thing?
Because they make enough money in February, probably.
No.
This sounds like a movie that they
Yeah.
greenlit, right? That they greenlit, said this looks great. Too many changes happened to it, and they're like, let's just bury this in February. No one's going to remember this movie at all. No one will remember this movie. I promise you.
Well, I'm not disagreeing with you there.
It's just never going to happen.
Okay. Well then,
Two European guys playing Egyptians.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. Yep.
No,
No,
no
bueno.
thanks.
I shall pass.
so let's now not spend more time on that. That same day comes out 999, which you want to talk about a big cast. This is a
I never
huge
heard
cast.
of this, and I'm very intrigued.
Did you watch the trailer?
No, because like I said, I've never heard of it.
It looks solid. It's
You may want to take a minute to watch this trailer.
this is right up your alley, Josh. It's a crime drama. I was explaining it to CJ. It feels like The Inside Man meets Training Day. And it's got Aaron Paul in it. So I mean, it's all you, man. You would enjoy this.
I
It looks
think
good.
this is the prequel to the Aaron Paul Ghost Rider movie that you're working on.
Oh yeah, pretty sure he's a motorcycle stunt driver.
Which
in this.
to me means we could get Norman Reedus as the bad guy in that movie. I'm
You
just
want
saying.
him to be Blackheart?
I like Casey Affleck, man.
He does solid work. Like Gone Baby Gone. He's done a couple other things, but a lot of his
Wait,
stuff
hold on.
is like
no. Wait a
it's usually
second.
under the
Name
rug.
something else besides Gone Baby Gone you liked Casey Affleck in.
He was. I mean, stuff he was in or stuff he was
serious?
starred in.
No.
What do you want?
Listen, I get you. When I see Casey Affleck, I'm very impressed. Name something right now without looking it up online that he's been in. You can't.
Goodwill
I-
Hunting. I swallowed a
Goodwill
bug.
Hunting. Yes. What else?
Argo.
The amount of silence is.
Dude, I said Argo.
Oh, I didn't hear you. You said Argo?
I said
Okay.
Argo.
Gotcha. Now, can you name something that he wasn't involved with his brother in?
Interstellar.
Perfect. There you go.
And all the Ocean's
Casey
movies.
Affleck is one of those. I'll give you I'm going to contend that, but I'll give it to you.
Contend what?
Don't worry about it. The thing about Casey Affleck is I love him in everything he's in, but I always forget about it right after I've seen it. In the moment, I love it. Retrospectively, it's there, but any other time I'm trying to think of a movie, I can't think of anything I've ever seen Casey Affleck in. It's terrible. I feel bad.
You also first of all, you also don't remember your child's birthday or your wife's birthday or more importantly, my birthday.
Yeah, but I remember
So-
weird things that aren't personal. I remember
Yeah,
the weird
I-
things. Hence why
nobody
I'm the
believes you.
continuity guy. Oh, the glass was half full in the last scene. I remember shit like that. You think I would remember Casey Affleck in a movie. But anyway, this movie looks fucking amazing. And besides Deadpool, I think is my movie of November that I'm the most excited about.
You mean February?
February, I meant.
Wow.
Sorry.
You don't even remember what time of month it's like year.
Forget
It is.
everything.
Like,
I didn't just help my case at all. This
Oh
movie
my
looks
gosh.
phenomenal. I'm right along with you, Brian. This definitely reminds me a little bit of Inside Man, and it's got some element, some feeling of no. You're shaking your head in disdain, Josh. You don't think
you're gonna say Training Day, and you're wrong.
No. So because I actually got into an argument with this with Brian. Training Day.
It feels like a Training Day type.
It does not.
It feels like Street Kings.
I was going to say
or
something
that.
like Heat or something like that. Yeah,
Street Kings. Keanu Reeves, Forrest Whitaker, Street Kings.
Okay.
So my big concern is that it's going to be a little bit copycat, but 2 minutes into a 2-minute 30-second trailer, this is a great cast. Like you don't have Anthony Mackie on the.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bunch of people I don't have listed on there, but like Anthony Mackie's in this, Kate Winslet's in this. Obviously, Woody Harrelson seems like he's probably the main focal point in the movie with Casey Affleck. It looks solid. I'm really interested.
Awesome. Yeah.
The big thing about this movie is that somebody is not who they say they are. And I think a majority of this is going to be a lot of misdirection. You're going to have to pay attention. Even when things are blowing up, you're going to have to know who shot what, why did this happen. Everything's going to be very attentive, and you're going to be entertained as well with it. So I am really, really excited for this movie.
That's really tough because I'm still trying to figure out who shot JR. Did that reference go over your head?
No, I got the Dallas reference. I'm just
okay.
That's how much I cared. So let's move on to the next movie, which Josh has been talking about for a little while.
Our next and final movie, which Josh was really excited about last time we mentioned this. Eddie the Eagle comes out the end of February.
It has Eggsy in it, and I thought that was interesting.
It's got Eggsy and Wolverine in it.
Yep, and Christopher Walken.
I can do without Hugh Jackman all the time.
I love Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman's Wolverine. How dare you?
Right?
So dumb.
No, I do love Hugh Jackman. Story of the 1988 Olympics, Winter Olympics. Great Britain's first ski jumper. It's a biopic. If that's kind of your thing, I think it looks interesting. Nothing I'm going to go to the theater to see. I'll definitely check it out on demand or something.
I'll probably see this in the theater when there's like nothing good that I want to see. Next month in between a gap, it'll still somehow be in a theater somewhere. And I'll end up going to see it. Plus, I love Hugh Jackman, so I'll make a point to see it in a theater on a big screen. I don't care.
I love Hugh Jackman.
I love Hugh Jackman. I'll go see it. I don't care. I'll say it to the world.
Did you see Real Steel in the theater?
I did.
I did too. I love that movie. Don't even. I love that movie.
Oh, that movie's terrible.
It's so good.
That movie.
It's Rock'em Sock'em Robots.
The movie's awful.
On. So what is wrong with Rock'em Sock'em Robots?
Nothing's wrong with Rock'em Sock'em Robots. Everything's wrong with the breakdancing boy in the middle of a ring when robots are supposed to be fighting. Stop breakdancing, show me fighting. That's what I care about. That's why I came to that movie.
You don't get
fighting.
The heart of the film then.
You're an idiot. By the way, I do want to let people know, and I'm also working on a post for this. Gasp. I saw Dirty Grandpa, and it is awful.
So
just a big pile of donkey shit. I looked at my wife we're not even in the middle of the movie. We're a quarter way in, and I look at her and I'm like, do you want to go? I'll go get us a refund. This movie is terrible. And she's like, no, it's going to get better. It's going to get better. And I watched the entire thing, and it got no better. It got worse every minute I stayed in there. Do not see this movie. It is awful.
I also need to point out that your opinion in everything sucks. So it might be wrong.
You know what? I'm going to play the tape where you told me I was right about Star Wars, but that's okay.
Okay. Your opinion about everything except for one Star Wars thing sucks.
Star Wars, that was a pretty big thing. Trust me. All right, go see this movie. And listeners, how about this? No. I want to do this. Listeners, if you've seen this movie, I want to hear about it.
Please, that's what I want.
I would like our listeners to tell me if I'm right or wrong.
I don't trust your opinion, CJ.
That's fine.
You've proven time and time again how awful it is,
That's
and
also
this
not
is why
true.
we can't have nice things.
That's not true. Anyway,
that wraps up February movies. So I know I'm going to go see Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies, and then Deadpool for about 16 times.
I feel that's the way I'll do it, and I'll find some way to get Eddie the Eagle in there as well. Oh, plus hold on. We just sat there and said how great 999 looks. That 999 is going to be seen at some point. I've got to see the movie.
In between Deadpool viewings, I'll see.
Just sneak into it.
Well, yeah, that's what you do. You buy the one ticket and then you just go into the next theater.
Don't do that. That's a terrible thing.
You have buy the one ticket and then 2 weeks later sneak into the other movie.
You have to go on a weekday when they're only taking the tickets at the front door, not at like either aisle, so you can cross over the lobby and enter any theater you want and no one knows. I've never done that, by the way.
Please don't. It's not an endorsement that I would like to give to people.
He's never done that with a purse full of Kung Pao chicken.
Yeah, exactly. I've never done that while smuggling in Red Robin.
So, listeners, we want to hear from you. What are the best movies of February? What are the ones that you're going to see if you're listening to this in the future? Were we right? Were we wrong? Tell us. Yeah, I know. I used the future voice. Let it happen. So I want to move on to our next thing. Now, it's still movies related, but it's definitely something I kind of think is pretty cool. Josh, I think you found this, or maybe not. There was a post on the Chive, which we all love and to look at. It's classic movies that are getting remade in the near future. Now, there's more to this than meets the eye. Some of these are based off of rumors or off the cuff statements, but I'm a little curious if you guys have some opinions on some of the movies that are here. It's only about 15. So the one that got me the most upset was the fact that we're remaking Memento. Which
there's no reason for Memento to be remade.
To remake Memento.
It's fantastic as is. There's no reason why you should be touching this movie, honestly. I knew about The Big Trouble in Little China, and I'm okay with it, because it's going to star Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. So
it's Dwayne. Please don't call me The Rock Johnson.
No. I'm pretty sure it's just Dwayne quotations The Rock Johnson. So I'm okay with that. I mean, there a lot of this stuff I understand. The Craft, I have no idea why we're even bothering. But
I think it's still. I think that's something.
If you put like a few hot chicks like around like a pentagram thing and turn them into witches, that everybody loves that story.
Yep, that's the way you sell box office tickets. Here's something really cool that I liked. Police Academy is getting the remake, and Key and Peele are set to produce it. And I don't know if you saw the trailer, and we may have talked about it, of Keanu, their movie about the cat. Have you not seen this trailer?
I don't like Key.
I haven't seen the trailer. I saw that it's happening. I want to see the trailer. I haven't seen it yet.
It is. I mean, I'm laughing so hard during that trailer. It's just. I mean, their comedy on that is on par. It's fantastic. I get Key and Peele aren't for everybody. It's just like people don't like Dave Chappelle. It can kind of be like a polarizing comedy duo. But I think if anyone's going to take the hands of Police Academy, I'm really happy with those two, doing it. I think that's going to be a pretty cool thing to remake.
So, Overboard is on here, and Overboard's a funny movie. Kurt Russell, Goldie Hawn. I was excited to see that somebody was going to remake it because it's a cool story, and then I saw that Will Smith, and Jennifer Lopez, and I went out. I'm out.
I was all about that until then.
Drop Dead Fred was dumb the first time around.
See, I was actually excited for this because I also like Russell Brand. Russell Brand is rumored to star as the imaginary child, and I like Russell Brand.
At least all of it.
I loathe Russell Brand.
Yes.
I liked Get Him to the Greek. I loved him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall, so I'll give him a try.
If you take Russell Brand out of those movies, they're funnier.
Speaking of loathing people, the Ghostbusters movie is on here.
Yes.
And I loathe Melissa McCarthy. Gosh.
What?
I hate her. I don't think she's funny. And I'm not looking forward to this movie at all because I don't think she's funny. I'm serious, yeah.
This movie is so polarizing. I'm tired of hearing that people aren't excited for it. Of course you're going to be fucking excited for this movie.
No.
You're going to see this movie.
Kristen Wiig, out.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan of Kristen Wiig either. And so
she's awful.
Two-fourths of the cast of the main four, I'm already I don't even think they're funny.
Why?
So I'm already not on board.
All right, how about Jumanji?
That's a travesty. You shouldn't be fucking with that movie.
That movie is another movie that's perfect the way it is.
There's no need. Listen, adding nothing from contemporary times brings anything new to that movie. It does nothing for it. Why on earth would you remake Jumanji?
Maybe they're going to turn it into
can you think of anyone better to give a performance than Robin Williams in that kind of role?
No, I just asked a question.
I know. I'm not yelling at you. I'm yelling at the studio who says, yeah, okay.
There's a lot of this list that I don't think make a whole lot of sense. I think the stuff that was pretty campy the first time around, you can probably improve. An American Werewolf in London can probably be improved upon.
War Games is on the list, and I think that's something that
you cannot redo War Games.
What?
There's no way.
Nothing?
Think about this. In 1983, what did we really know about computers, about technology? We knew nothing.
Okay, true. We knew jack shit.
Okay, so the idea that this kid could somehow, he was smart, but could somehow stumble upon and, play a game called Thermonuclear War, but he's actually kicking missile silos into action, and he's going to cause an actual war. Like now, the movie ends 5 minutes into the movie when the
NSA
Department of Homeland Security kicks in his door and arrests him. I mean, it's not a movie.
Someone just goes and cuts a fiber line and goes, okay, that's
right.
it.
It's just over. Right? It's just over. So
all right.
I don't think War Games can be brought into the 21st century and everybody just believes it. Bill and Ted, no, you can't remake that movie.
See, they were talking about here's what's weird. They've been talking about doing a sequel for the longest time. I don't know why all of a sudden it's talking about being a remake.
Well, whatever.
Or are they playing themselves older with a new
that's kind of what it is they're basically going to play older versions of the character, so it's not really so much a remake as it is a sequel. I think they just put on this list because hey, it was a cool thing to have. So just to clarify, even the Chive says this is not so much a remake, but you should still get excited. Keanu Reeves and Alex Winter, who played the duo, are coming back. So
yeah, I read that somewhere. As long as he does John Wick 2 beforehand, he can do whatever the hell he wants after that.
So is there any movie that you didn't see on this list that you've kind of thought it would be nice for someone to remake it? I know we've had this discussion of rebooting movies and, how we're not exactly for it all the time. But, I mean, is there a movie that you don't think got it right or was limited by something that you would like to see again?
Yeah, and I just I had it in that and I completely lost it. I had it in my head and now it's gone. It's away. There's nothing I can... Nope, it's gone. Oh, there it is. The Lost Boys. I would like to see the Lost Boys remade.
I'm not laughing at your movie choice. Just that train of thought was just...
That was amazing.
I would like to see someone take a crack at the Lost Boys. The Lost Boys being a fantastic 80s movie and both funny and a little frightening, and you had both the Coreys in it, and you had Jason Patrick and Kiefer Sutherland and Jamie Gertz, and it's great, right? But you can modernize that a bit, redo it without the Coreys, and I think do a really good job. But I thought Fright Night, when they remade that, I thought that was very good. So, Colin Farrell notwithstanding,
I was gonna say the remake with Colin Farrell and Anton Yelchin.
That one, I thought that was good.
I haven't seen it.
Alrighty.
I would definitely check that out. I think
those are the kind of movies you can remake. You can't take as much as you want to say Police Academy, dude. That movie's a classic.
Yeah, it is.
That whole series is, and so to remake that, you wouldn't try to remake The Naked Gun. Right. Actually,
better.
No,
you can't. I don't think you could.
What's her name? Rashida Jones tried to remake it on TV, and it doesn't work.
She has a new show called Angie Tribeca.
Yeah, we talked about this, didn't we?
I find it enjoyable, but it's
doesn't work.
It's not.
It's like
same
15 minutes in, you're just like, this is way over the top, and she's just not Leslie Nielsen. So
that's the thing. She's not Leslie Nielsen.
It doesn't work, right?
Yeah, I don't have anything that comes to mind as far as remaking. I think a lot of early 80s campy horror movies definitely lend to themselves to this kind of thing, but I didn't watch them to begin with, so I don't really care.
Gotcha. Okay. Well, I thought I would ask, and it's definitely something, I've kicked around a few ideas and even gone as far as to recast some movies.
CJ?
No. The problem is after you think about it, after you get over the initial, wouldn't it be cool? You realize, why am I fucking with this movie? This movie is too good. The ones that I can think of off the top of my head are already good to begin with, so I don't want to touch them. So I will never reboot a movie if I can help it. I'll stay out of that. Just keep it up here in my old noggin, and that'd be the end of it. All right. So same thing for you listeners. If you've got a movie that you want to see rebooted, or if you're really pissed off that one of these movies is possibly on the docket to be rebooted, defend your movie, defend your nerdum. Tell us why something should be made, or tell us why it deserves a second chance, why it deserves a new audience. I definitely want to hear what you guys have. A point of order, if I may. Brian, I believe that there is a birthday coming up.
Yes. Not coming. Well, I mean,
at the time, yes, I'm sorry.
Coming up today, because today being Friday, but on Monday when this show airs, it is my father's birthday. So I did want to wish him a happy birthday in recorded format for all of time. So, Dad, happy birthday, and thank you for making me so nerdy that this seemed like a good idea.
Yeah, happy birthday, Mr. T.
Happy birthday. Thank you so much for being another one of our super fans and being very supportive of the show, too. So thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, supportive of the show, supportive of me and every horrible idea I have to do with my life. An amazing person, amazing father. And I wish I could be with you today, Dad.
For the record, you do owe him a re-recording of that episode because he had a technical problem. So I would like to hear another conversation with you and your dad.
I'm gonna interview you again. I promise. One day
we'll have the mics work this time.
The mic will work.
That being said, and that reminded me of something. We were talking about how when you kind of forget that it's someone's birthday and you're trying to go on the fly to get someone a gift. And the first thing you want to think of is, how long do I have and what can I get? So Amazon, right, is a great place to start because if you have Amazon Prime, you can get things overnight and seem like you thought of it weeks ago, and it gets to their birthday, perfect day of time. But there's a lot of things out there about Amazon that I don't like, and one of them is fake reviews. The reviews that are obviously padded, or the ones that are made by the manufacturer to say, oh, this is a superior product and it's not good. And I hate dealing with bullshit. So there is a service out there, and it's called Fake Spot. And they're not a sponsor or anything. I'm just trying to tell you guys this is a pretty cool thing that will actually analyze a page on Amazon that has product reviews and tell you if they're legitimate or not. So this way you can kind of make sense of what's good on there, what's not good on there. And they even have a Chrome extension to kind of make this thing easy. So, I mean, I've been duped on Amazon before by a pair of headphones where the reviews were pretty good. And I was like, oh, well, it seems pretty good. The reviews are fine. It's an inexpensive price. Let me go buy these things. And then I put them on my ear and they hurt like hell. They sounded like crap. And I realized after I looked at the reviews, no one had actually bought the product that reviewed it. And they were made like days within the initial company posting the product. So I've been duped by this, and this whole service is aimed to stop it. Does this sound like something you guys would use when you're shopping on Amazon a lot?
Yeah, I think I would use this frequently. I like that there's a Chrome extension. It's a simple way to filter through without going to an additional site or anything like that. But I'm the type of Amazon shopper that I'll put something in my cart while I'm researching it, and I'll go to all kinds of different sites, and I'll try to get reviews from everywhere before I buy it. Here's what I do. I needed an overnight bag, right? And I'm ready to drop $375 on a Tom Bin overnight bag from tombin.com. Now, that's a pretty swanky overnight bag, right? $375.
Very fancy.
I find on Amazon just some High Sierra, similar sized, it's $40. Okay? And I'm like, there's no way this can be any good. And the reviews were solid. And I mean, I waited on this, and I went to 5 different sites, and knowing that the reviews are reliable and that I could buy with confidence is a big deal for me. I don't know why it's such a big deal. It's not like I couldn't return it if I didn't like it, but this is something that I would use every single time I shop.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a pretty cheap guy. I don't like having to go through the process of spending money to get something that is a piece of crap and then try to return it. So having something like this, I think, is a great service to all. And most nerds, we shop online, even if we're just trying to actually maybe compare something, even after we've seen it in a retail store. We want to know that what we're getting is good. And I just think, this is a pretty cool nerdy thing for our fans to have. So what's really cool about this is if you're not a Chrome user or you have no idea what the hell a Chrome extension is, don't worry, you're not alone. We will put a link to this product in our show notes. All you have to do is, if you're on the podcast application, press the Arbum Outwork and everything will turn over. So you can go ahead and see that. It's called FakeSpot. It's entirely free. No account needed at all. So I would definitely recommend checking it out.
Did you say Arbum?
I thought maybe, artwork. Sorry.
You said Arbum
said something.
Outwork or something.
I meant to say album artwork, and I put it together. Okay. Did a nice spinnerism.
I'm just wondering.
That's
Proceed.
what it is.
So we found on CNET, we found an article, Super Bowl 50, and I have to be the football guy talking about Super Bowl 50. Super Bowl 50 puts tech in its starting lineup is the title of the article, and it's really about how Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara has geared up for and is catering to fans who are bringing their devices. And there's, you're at a game, you're supposed to be watching the game, right? But everybody's, Instagramming pictures, tweeting, live reactions, that kind of
chatting.
Stuff. This stadium has a ridiculous network. They're talking about how they can integrate the fan experience, right? And so they have 1,200 Wi-Fi access points, which is insane. I think it's something like 400 miles of fiber, right?
It is, yeah. Hold on, I did have it's 400 miles of fiber and copper cables too to handle that data. Let me really put this into perspective, just to kind of get this into your head. If you go to a pretty large bar or restaurant, and they have Wi-Fi in there, they probably have two things. They have their router, right, in one part of the business, and then they have a wireless access point somewhere else, usually about one, and it serves about maybe 50 to 100 people. And this fucking stadium's 1,200 plus. Mm-hmm. Like, I really want you to get the internet in that place is going to be crazy.
You're talking about a capacity of like 70,000 people, something like that, inside this stadium. But the thing about the Super Bowl is there's a week long activity, NFL experience, or whatever it's called. They have stuff in Santa Clara around the stadium, at the Moscone Center downtown, which is literally a block away from my office in San Francisco. It's bedlam, basically. The folks in the company have already started sending emails warning folks about transportation, suggesting use some flex time and work from home this week. It's going to be nuts downtown. And it's you think of San Francisco as a pretty tech-forward place to begin with.
Right.
The NFL is really, really doing some stuff to bring the NFL experience, the Super Bowl experience, to fans for free, which is crazy talk, right?
And I thought the coolest part was that if you're lucky enough to score a seat at the Super Bowl, you can actually allegedly see some of the hilarious ads, like the must-see ads that are going to be displayed during the game on your mobile phone. Again, all for free. This is pretty cool. So, I mean, I know Brian's not a huge sports guy. As I see, he's actually leaning back in his chair away from everybody while we're talking about this. Brian, if you're stuck at a sport event, would this be something that you'd be happy to have, that you could pull out your phone and kind of get like some of these experiences? Is this something you would even care about?
Let's get one thing clear. I never get stuck anywhere I don't want to be.
It's not true. You're here right now.
If I don't want to be there, I'm not there. Except, for apparently here. Anyway.
Brian is never early nor late. He arrives precisely when he intends to.
I understand that at your palatial estate, you pretty much have stadium seating, if you want to watch something. And I get that. And I understand that no one's going to bother you.
We also have plenty of fiber and Wi-Fi access points as well.
And I agree, so that you can even keep an eye on your cats while they're roaming around. Because, again, just want to remind everybody, the cat-to-male ratio is rather low. So you have to keep track of them so that way you can maintain it. But I mean, if you are offered the opportunity to go to a sporting event, is this
I would
something that's going to help
absolutely
you?
go depending on who invited me. And I would be happy to have Wi-Fi access there so I could watch the Civil War
Do
trailer.
things other than watching the sporting event. that's
Right,
going on.
perfect.
It depends.
So
Let's get this out of the way right now. I have been to several sporting events. I've been to a football game and a baseball game and a hockey game once.
On purpose?
I
purpose.
feel like it ends with you being grumpy cat goes, and I hated it.
The thing is this, that this is all sort of being put on around the city. It's not necessarily an NFL thing. It's not what this is about. It's about Levi Stadium. But the NFL is a pretty tech forward organization in its own right. But they're using Microsoft Surface.
Yeah.
And they're always failing, right? During the games, these tablets are just failing. And I think it's a serious black eye for Microsoft, and I wish they just switched to iPads.
The really funny thing is Microsoft put a lot of money into this to give them the Surface, and it's branded everywhere. And even now, you will still hear a commentator go, "Oh, he's on the iPad." It's like, some PR rep for Microsoft and the NFL are going, no, Surface, say Surface next time, please say Surface. So this is a cool thing. I thought, I know we don't talk a whole lot of sporty things, but this is a combination of them both, plus the big game.
This is the most watched event on television every year. There's nothing bigger than the Super Bowl anywhere.
Yeah, no, and I absolutely agree. I'm probably gonna maybe watch the commercials. Here's the thing. Here's why I'm gonna watch the Super Bowl. I'm almost positive that you'll see a new Civil War trailer during it, and it might include Spider-Man. That's worth me suffering through a football game. and not some like depressing nationwide insurance commercial.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Yeah, right?
And
that's what I'm saying.
You can't, because Tommy is dead.
Yeah, right.
I'm recalling that commercial from last year. And it was that. I do remember that was really bad. Look, I think the commercials are entertaining, absolutely. However, this is the end of the football season. A champion is crowned, and it's Peyton Manning. I mean, you gotta want the guy to have the storybook ending to his career.
One can hope.
Win a championship, get the MVP, and say it's been a hell of a career. I'm out, and leave.
I'll take your word for it.
I did want to bring up some news. Brian is very skeptic about this, but whatever. Right now, according to all the sources, Doctor Who is actually no longer on Netflix or Hulu as of the time of this recording, and at the time of this release, from what I understand so far. The contract negotiation just, it's over. Just their time with it is gone. So it'll be off for a little while. It is not on Hulu. It won't be on Netflix.
I'm going to do everybody a favor. I can't remember the podcast in which we discussed the Netflix hacks that you must try, but in there I talked about Ola, which is a Chrome extension. It is basically a VPN. And you just go in there, you click the little Ola extension, and you change your Netflix region to the United Kingdom, and presto changeo, you have Doctor Who.
The only thing I'll give as a word of caution is that actually Netflix has begun cracking down on the VPN services that exist like this.
I think it's free software. It's a Chrome extension. Easily available. I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
Or you can also buy it.
I also think...
I know Amazon, you can buy the whole season for pretty cheap.
Why would I ever do that? It's on Netflix.
First of all...
But it's not on Netflix.
It is on Netflix.
I get what you're saying.
Hey, let me ask you a question.
But not everybody is that kind of nerd, Josh, and they can't do it.
Is it available on Netflix?
The technical answer is yes.
Yes. So as far as I'm concerned, it's on Netflix. I'm going to watch it on Netflix.
I just wanted to say, because there are a couple of people who are not going to go bother to do that.
It takes 5 minutes.
For those people
I'm just saying,
who don't know what they're doing, I will help you. I need you to take a deep breath, because it's not going to last. They have
really
been trying to get rid of certain shows for not trying to get rid of, but certain shows have come up. Oh, we couldn't get it back. It's going to go away. Scrubs is one. Buffy is one. And they're both
Buffy
still
should
around.
go away.
Huh?
Buffy should go away.
Come on. Don't
I've never watched
ill of Buffy.
Unless you're talking about the movie with what's his name? Luke Perry and Pee Wee Herman and
No. I'm talking about the fantastic 7-season series created by Joss Whedon and starring Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Christy
Hold on,
Swanson.
this leads into this leads into another topic. Real
Listen,
quick,
let me just finish my statement before you
Christy Swanson.
before you cut me off with your freaking topics and embargoes and bullshit. Let me finish my statement.
It was one from a
The
fan.
point is, if it's gone, it's not going to last. It's going to come back. So, ye of little faith, there is plenty to watch on Netflix until Doctor Who comes back.
And in the meantime, install the extension and watch it on Netflix.
Or was that show Banshee? Is that the one that they should be watching too, Josh?
Yeah, that's not on
the show.
Netflix.
That's on Cinemax.
I'm just saying.
Yes, Banshee.
Okay. Just want to say.
Hashtag Banshee.
Part of the email that we had received from Superfan Ellen, yeah, that's how I'm going to refer to her from now on, Superfan Ellen, was a follow-up to the question of what did we watch while we were snowed in. She said that she was watching House. She's basically kind of sick of watching TV, but it's not spring, so she was thinking about giving Doctor Who a try, hence why I brought it up. So sorry, Ellen, you do the Chrome extension, try it at your own will. Ironically enough, I was watching House while I was snowed in, so Ellen, you and I are in the same mind. And I had a good time. I'm on the last season, and I've never finished this show.
Let's be very clear. You did not have a good time while watching House, because when you watch House, you start to think you are House and become an asshole.
Do you just watch House like all the time then, or like right before we record this? Is that what you do?
I just watch snippets of House and Dr. Cox being assholes, and then I record this podcast and I channel that towards you.
That makes sense. But what did you watch during the snowstorm?
During the snowstorm, I watched a couple different things, but I did do what I said I was going to do, and I watched all 8 Harry Potter movies. It took a big chunk of the weekend. And God, Dumbledore just does whatever the hell he wants.
He does.
Just like, I like your style. That's a really nice haircut, Harry. 50 points to Gryffindor. Like, what the hell? Seriously, Dumbledore, you can't always let Gryffindor win. But yes, I spent the majority of that weekend watching DVR'd shows and Harry Potter. Josh, did you have a marathon at all?
There was the Godfather epic. I watched most of that. And we watched a whole lot of Parks and Rec. And the kids, they watched just the crappiest shows you'd ever heard of. That's just
Clarence and Adventure Time and bullcrap.
Kicking It,
Adventure Time.
The Thundermans. All these awful
Kicking It sounds
shows.
like a soccer show, like Bend It Like Beckham.
No, it's like a no.
Were you drinking while this was happening at least?
No, I was no.
I kind of wish you were, though.
Listen, Josh, at least you weren't watching Yo Gabba Gabba. That's
Like,
what's
they're
important.
just not old enough where they can watch Scrubs or Parks and Rec or any of that. So at least it's not crappy shows, right? I'd much rather it be SpongeBob. It's not anymore. It's Kicking It and the Thundermans and whatever other crappy tween shows are available. Oh, CJ, it's so bad. It's so awful.
It's coming into my life soon. I'm already dealing with Adventure Time. Is now a favorite of my daughter, and so is Steven Universe, and that show is fucking amazing. So I'll watch Steven Universe all day. Check out that show. It's actually really, really good.
Nope.
No, it's funny. It's Cartoon Network. It's good. Anywho, listen, fans, I want to give you, again, a unique opportunity that most podcasts don't give you, and that is the opportunity to have your voice on the show with us. There are several ways to do this. You can do it like our superfan Ellen via an email. You can email podcast@thatkindofnerd.com. But the really cool thing that you can do is actually call and leave a voicemail that we can play here on the air and have your voice on the show. All you have to do is call 484 373-4119. I think this is something really cool that most shows don't do. We want to give you the opportunity to go ahead and do so. So please, please, please go ahead and leave us a message. You can also rate us and leave a review on iTunes. We encourage that. And don't worry, we can handle it. The good, bad, or the ugly, whatever you've got, go ahead and throw it our direction. And it will read your review on the air. So don't be afraid to tell us what we need to do better or what we're doing that keeps you as a listener.
And fans, I do want to hear in these messages, I want to hear your Super Bowl plans. That's right. I'm going to post the football question for this week. So, because I know the Cats are hosting their own Super Bowl party. It's invite only, black tie event. So, CJ, you're not invited.
Damn.
But I want to hear what's everybody doing for Super Bowl. I will be watching cartoons.
Super Bowl parties are an absolute waste of time and energy. People come over,
I like 'em.
They talk through the whole game and then watch the goddamn commercials.
Perfect.
So, no. I watch the Super Bowl with my wife, with little brother, and that's pretty much it. I don't no Super Bowl parties. No.
Well, who knows? Maybe one day we'll have a That Kind of Nerd Super Bowl party and we'll honor your wishes. So I really want to say again, thank you so much to the fans for listening today. Thank you so much for making us your walk around the neighborhood or your drive to work. Please make sure to share and subscribe to this podcast and share it with your friends. Let your friends, get their nerd on and let them listen to some guys, kind of banter and rave about, things that are going on. So thank you so much for listening, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode.
I just feel like corrections need to be made. I need to be corrected on how to use the word peruse. You should be corrected when you screw up album. On to the next topic.